Okay, well, hello. It's your girl KoGi, and we are back for another edition of Conversations. And I have my special guest, Miss Nafeesha Nicholson. Okay, so much. Is that in another color, by the way?
It is sneak peek. Ba 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 ba.
Okay,
It is.
not you sneak peeking for the little chat we having.
That's just for
Okay.
you.
Okay. Well, I feel very special for that then. So, first of all, introduce yourself. Tell the audience a little bit.
Oh my gosh. I'm struggling with that lately.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I am normally such a in the back, behind the scenes
Mm-hmm. I know.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
person. So introduce myself. I am Nafeesha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that means precious and rare in Arabic. Uh,
Nice.
however, the Uber drivers always like to tell me that there's an H in it that's not supposed to be there, and it's true. It's supposed to be Nafisa. Um,
Yeah.
Nevertheless, my mother wanted an H in there. She wanted an Isha baby. She got one. But that is me. And I've done so many things, but right now I am doing right on 59th. And it's been something that's been brewing in me for decades now. Um, I never outgrew graphic tees and really fun stuff. And there were just so many specific things that I would want, like, oh, I wish I can find that, or I wish I could find a shirt that says that. And I would always say, oh, I'm going to come up with it. But I didn't want a brick and mortar. I didn't want the stress of that. And I was like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? And so thankfully, I just got to a place where I was like, I'm not the professional is telling me that I need to scoot back. No, but I know, but that's okay.
Why is he doing that?
He
He
wants
is a mess.
he wants me to sit back, but I feel
Oh,
like
because he wants everybody to see the shirt fully. Is that what you're talking about, Alphonse?
he said it's the top of my head.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. I see what he's saying. Your head is cut off a little bit,
It needs to be.
so he wants you to sit back. Just I get it. Okay, yeah, there you go. You good now? That's
I'm
it.
also trying to cover up. You see that? You see
What?
this in the high?
Oh, the reflection a little
I'm
bit.
trying to.
You fine though. You fine.
Okay.
Maybe scoot the. You want to scoot the laptop a little bit back?
Up,
Maybe.
back.
Yeah, and then you. Mm, yeah, but that may be uncomfortable, huh? Maybe put it. Yeah, but I want you to be comfortable. But that's perfect though. Are you comfortable?
I'm gonna make this work.
See, Alphonse, you got her out here. She was so comfortable how she was. See, now see,
I didn't mind that. I feel like it's an intimate conversation with KoGi.
exactly.
You know, I'm gonna
Thank
come back
you.
where I was.
Go ahead, girl. It's okay, girl.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
The
yeah,
shirt's
yeah.
here. I'm here.
You're here. Okay,
But
so
yeah,
you
this
were saying graphic tees.
yes,
You
yes.
really couldn't
Um,
find what you want, and you was like, "I'm gonna
mm-mm.
do this damn thing."
And this one that I'm wearing right now was actually the first one that I thought of because there we go.
Hmm.
Being from Oakland and loving Hammer in a society that even recently disrespects him, I was like, he is a legend in the rap game in the city where I'm from, and I've always just wanted to show him love. And so to finally be able to do this, and also be in an e-commerce time, which wasn't always the case. It wasn't always popping like that. And that way your reach can be what you need it to be, and you don't have a lot of overhead, and um, you can it's been a dream come true, honestly, because I haven't done a single ad yet. I haven't even finished editing the photo shoot pics that's coming for my social media. There's so much that's still being done, but it's
Mhm.
still been so successful even without the full
Mhm.
push just yet. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what I'm doing
That
right
is, that is beautiful. So, when you came up with the idea, first of all, the title of your company,
now.
right on 59th, that
Yeah,
is given my roots,
absolutely.
my stomping grounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Would I be correct in saying that, or?
Yes, and even deeper than that. So yes, for me, I was raised on 59th Street, and the way that I would come, like there's two different ways. You could either be coming down San Pablo, you would make a right, or if you're coming towards the Berkeley side, you would make a right. So either way it went, the directions that I went to go was always a right. So
Mhm.
right on 59th, but also a right on 59th. And my mother, I was born on 59th Street, and then my father is from like 59th and Market. So both of my parents have connections to
Oh,
59th Street and me
that is
myself. So
amazing.
yeah, I mean, it's truly like the essence of me and the things that
Mhm.
I've just always figured I can't be the only one that loves Hammer. I can't be the only one that loves the Five Heartbeats. I can't be the
Mhm.
only one that loves Toni Morrison. So if there are other people who love these things, and I've got some really cool stuff coming for the second drop, I'm so excited
Mhm.
for it. So even in those things,
Mhm.
great movies coming for the second one. I'm like, I can't be the only one. So if someone else likes these things too, then that can be our thing and not just my thing.
I love that. When I tell you I love Black people, because one thing about us, we will group together. It's sort of like on Twitter, like what's the movie? Brown Sugar.
Mhm.
When Tay Diggs does the divorce, it's like
Yes.
celebratory
Yes.
Black Twitter. Every time it's Thanksgiving, we
Yes.
go up for what's on the plate. Like you said, if I
Yes.
like it, they probably gonna like it. Who don't love
Mhm.
Love Jones? Who don't love Five Heartbeats? And who don't love fucking Hammer? Like
It's
who
something.
don't remember Old Town 357 with Hammer? Do not get me started.
You're crazy.
Mm,
See.
mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna need people to stop playing with him,
I know.
okay? Because
I
they
know.
try to do the one hit one down Hammer, and I'm gonna need them to stop. That's like the girl who said that Usher doesn't have enough hits to do the Super Bowl, and then he's now doing the Super Bowl.
She
Yeah.
said, "Name five." Let's see.
Name.
And yeah. Yeah. So I know I really was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
at first I was like, well, I'll just make these things for myself. I'll just make my
Mhm.
own. And then I thought, I'm not the only person that loves these things. So there's a market, there's this there's a community of
Mhm.
like-minded people, and I'm gonna find my people, and we're
Mhm.
gonna ride this. So I've been, like I said, very blessed to be finding my people very organically, and having really organic sales without a huge push yet. Push is
Right.
coming.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really thankful. Very
That's
blessed.
the
Very
best.
happy.
That's the best, I think. Organic growth
Mhm.
and organic love, because then you know it's real, you know.
Mhm.
And I think you've done such a great job with connecting with people and being your authentic self. And
Mm,
so it's easy to support you. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's like, what she got? Oh, okay, cool. Everybody go buy that shit. Stop playing.
thank
Y'all better support. Boom. It don't matter, because the way you love, right? And I think when people recognize who you are as a human, they will then support. So I think I would want to start there with that. When
Okay.
did you know that it took a village? When did you know? Was it when you were a child or was it when you had a child?
I was born into a village. I have a massive family. Um, it's massive. It's not big. It's massive. And so, and then also, I didn't go to school. We were all homeschooled. So, um, but my mom, she worked multiple jobs. My dad, shout out to my dad. Even in telling the truth, I don't like it to sound like I'm putting him down, but the truth is the truth. He wasn't around much in our youth, and
Mm-hmm.
so my mom had to work a lot of jobs to take care of us. She had three children,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the community, like, we never felt like we were alone. We never felt like we didn't have what we needed. And then even though my father was dealing with his stuff, his siblings were around and they cared for us and, made sure that we knew that side of the family even when he wasn't around. So that's literally all I know. Anything else feels foreign. So when it came to my daughter, there was no other choice. There was no other option. I remember in his, I believe, yeah, I think so. Gosh, or around the same time, my daughter's father got married, and um, and I love her. She's amazing. She's great. Their kids are great. And when Alphonse came on board, I'm like, this is what it is. Like, we are,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we are there
It's
for
a
each other.
whole unit. It's a
Like,
unit.
please come into the unit, but the unit's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And now the blessing is he's in the unit and he has his own like little fist bump with my daughter's father's son. Like, the
Right.
way they
You
give each
know,
other, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
oh,
community.
that's funny.
You have to be on board with
Yeah.
community to be around me in a
Mm-hmm.
close proximity or setting. I don't know anything else.
You don't know anything else. And it's so different. Like that's how I grew up as well, where we had the neighbor knew you, the
Yeah.
neighbor would be like, get your ass to that house. The
Hmm.
street lights are on. I know
Hmm.
your mama's still at work. What your
Hmm.
ass doing? Don't be out here being fast now. You
Had
know,
her
say
phone number at work.
everything.
Hmm.
Like everybody knew each other, and we don't
Yep.
talk a lot. Like everybody's doing this thing of mind your business, which okay, cool. But when it
Yeah.
comes down to the kids, like I
Right.
feel like there's some things we do need to step into business. Where you going, baby? What
We
you
have
doing?
to.
What
We have to.
what you doing, baby? Where you going? What you
Mhm.
we don't do that. And then
Yeah.
there's this idea that boys are raised differently than girls, which they are, but there are still things that need to be taught to young men. But they
Absolutely.
don't, this whole thing, are you 13, little May? You ain't got no girlfriend yet? What you doing?
Mm.
So I don't know. It's a lot of
Yeah.
things we could take from back in the day and bring it into
Right.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't. Mm-mm. I don't play that. My daughter's friends are my babies too. And
Oh,
to
okay.
your point about what's not happening anymore these days, one of her friends pointed out, your mom is the only mom that calls me baby.
Mm,
And I don't know anything else but to call. I know all their names, but they're all gonna be baby. You're welcome, baby. You hungry, baby?
mhm.
And they don't. Mm-mm. There's like we only get that from her. So I don't know. We losing recipes. I,
Yeah.
I don't know how to get them back out there other than to just make sure that I'm. That's fancy if you hear the squeaking.
Oh, girl, I already know what that was.
Okay.
I have my dog. I have my dog. I already know. Mm.
No, it's fine. She can. It's fine, baby.
What did he say?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's having a ball too.
oh
Um.
yeah, I already know. KoGi was like that early on. Now he just a
Mhm.
lazy ass. Like, yeah,
I was
he's
telling
me.
Alphonse, I was like, we're gonna miss it. when she's a big girl and she's just laying around, we're gonna miss this puppy
Oh,
so
yeah. Yeah, enjoy these moments, honey, because
much.
they become grouchy and don't want to be bothered, and you're gonna be mad. Okay,
Yeah. As
so
much
just
as she can,
enjoy.
be a lot, we'll miss
Yes,
it.
exactly, exactly.
No, no,
So
no. It's fine. Yeah.
keep playing, join. Um, so for you, I know you said you had the village, you had the community when
Mhm.
you became a mother.
Yes.
What are, because girl, motherhood is hard. It's
It
hard.
is.
It is so hard. Like, what are some jewels do you think, or some gems rather, that you would pass on to another mother who was just starting out, just starting her journey? What's some of the things you maybe would pass on to that individual?
How much time we got? I think if we're if we're starting at babies, I'm gonna
Hmm.
I'm gonna just keep it short and I'm gonna say like one thing for different stages.
Okay.
I think everybody will tell you when you have a baby, sleep while the baby is sleeping. And I think we don't listen and we take that as a time to, oh, let me clean up, let me do this, let me do that. When there's a baby, you could put the baby in the bassinet while you do all those things, but the sleep is very important. And I think when you don't have enough rest overall, but especially when you're a new mother, it makes the journey so much harder, so much more complicated. So I would say, in the newness of it, sleep while the baby is sleeping. um with toddlers, oh, bless their hearts.
Girl. Mm-mm.
Bless their hearts. Um, do not kill their dreams. Do not crush their spirits, because that's the time where it often happens. And up until 5 years old, because another thing, I mean, I studied child development. I
Mm,
had daycare for 10 years. And that,
really?
yeah, that really precious time, when they're learning and becoming who they are, so much of their personalities are formed between the ages of 1 and 5, well, 0 and 5. So I would say, let your ego down a little bit when they have questions to ask. Don't jump into because I told you to. Um, Absolutely say don't touch the stove, but tell them why. It'll
Hmm.
burn you. It's hot, and I don't want you to hurt yourself. Um, they shouldn't be getting in trouble for breaking dishes. I mean, clean it up, like don't make them scared of you. I know it goes against what so many of us are taught. Fear them. I love that my daughter is not scared of me.
Mhm.
Because now that she's almost 18, she knows she can tell me anything and she's not scared of what I'm going to do. And that's where the fear starts. So I would say put your ego aside and don't let your children be scared of you. Teenagers,
Mm, mm,
bless
mm,
their hearts
mm.
too. Bless them. My daughter is almost 18 years old, and so we all know what it's like to almost be 18, and it's a precious time. It's a trying time. Uh, I would say what I'm doing right now is really focus on bringing a full-fledged, good adult into the world.
Mhm,
So trying to make sure that I'm teaching her things that will be helpful for the rest of her life, and being realistic with her, because our
mhm.
parents weren't always realistic with us. Don't
Girl.
do this, don't do that. And the whys weren't always realistic. And I'll leave it at that. Because
I love that. I love that. No, how you broke that down at each stage, because it's very true when they would say sleep when the baby is sleeping, and you would be cleaning bottles, sterilizing counters, cooking little, putting little meals in the preparation. Well, because I wanted to breastfeed, but I couldn't breastfeed because I have epilepsy. I have epilepsy, so my
okay,
seizure medicine was in my breast milk. So I was doing the whole sterilization bottle thing,
yeah,
but I
Mhm.
was just doing so many things, and oh God, I was so sleepy
So
because I
sleepy.
never
Mhm.
slept
Yep.
because my son was always up
Yep.
and
Yep.
crying and oh child the attention. So it was just
Mhm.
really tough. Um and then like you said, that toddler stage, we do have a tendency, honestly, to just be like, stop,
Yep.
no, don't
Yep.
do that. Boy,
Yep.
what are you doing? Look now, your little butt, like we do, and we don't explain anything. I also feel like we don't think kids are smart, like when they're young. Like we don't think that
Yeah.
they are smart. They are really, really smart
So
at the age,
smart.
even 3, even
Yep.
4. Even,
Yep.
listen, my nephew is 2, and I swear to God,
Yep.
I'm like, wait, what you say?
Yep.
Like, oh, he okay, he got it. He got it.
Yep.
We don't have to do the goo goo gaga bee bee. Stop talking to them like that.
Nope.
You don't have to baby talk them,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So,
And
wow.
I saved the because I still do it with her. I save the baby talk for when she's sad. Um,
Mm,
but just recently she taught me, which is why I said you can't have the ego because she will let me know. Um, so I started implementing when she was in when she was in elementary school, I was in two different mother-daughter groups. And in one of them, as the moms, we came up with this idea for check-ins. Like if at work there's check-ins on your performance, we should be doing the same thing for our children. So every Mother's Day, I would ask her, how can I be a better mother to you? Like what can I do to better serve you as a mother? And there were times where she was like, "Oh, mom, you're the best mom ever." And then there were years where she had feedback. And so you have to be willing to accept that feedback in a very, like I said, take that ego away. And then also understand you used to be a child too. Here's the first feedback I got from her. I'll never forget it. She said, "Mom, I did something that wasn't the best. I got in trouble," which with her was just a stern talking, like, "You know better
mhm,
than that, Anaya, you know."
right.
Um, and then she said, "And I think it's over, and then you on the phone with Nana. Let me tell you what Anaya did, and then you on the phone with my auntie. Let me tell you what Anaya did. Like, I really don't like when you do that. And I feel like you're doing it in front of me, like it's multiple chastisements when it's already been settled." And I said, I couldn't stand when my mother did that. And here I am
Mhm.
doing it. I couldn't stand when she would do that. And okay, you're right. I won't do it. And so I didn't do it. And then the most recent one, there have been a lot of them over the years.
Yeah, I was like, have there been a lot? Quite
Yeah,
a few.
there have been a lot. But
Mhm,
most recently, she was just she's very busy. My daughter is very busy. She
mhm.
is in her senior year. She's applying for colleges.
Oh, yeah.
She is the student body president, but she's also on an executive board, and she is
Girl,
an actress. Right now, she's Regina George and Mean Girls, so she has all those rehearsals
really?
all over the place. Like, yeah, she
Yes.
is. And she was frustrated and
Mhm.
she was crying. Like, we were on our way out the door, and I said, "Put your clothes in the dryer. Like, you can't leave them in the machine, put them in the dryer." And she cried as she's putting the clothes in the dryer. And so I just gave her space because normally that's what she wants. I gave her
Mhm.
space. And then she comes over to me, and we're in the elevator, and she's looking at me like, as I'm looking back at her, like, what?
Right.
And so I drop her off. And then when I pick her up, the first thing she said, and she got in the car, "Hi, mom. It really disappointed me this morning that you didn't give me any comfort when I was having a sad time." And I said, "Well, normally when I try to hug you lately, you're like, 'No, mom, that's going to make it worse. Like, don't make this, make my crying worse.' So I just assumed that that's not what you wanted." And she said, "No, sometimes I feel that way, and sometimes I don't." I said, "Okay, well, I'll ask you next time, do you need space or comfort?" She said, "Perfect." because sometimes I just need a hug from my mom. And that was a time, and you just were. And so I
Mm.
said, okay, got it. You know, so I think if you leave the lines of communication open,
Mm-hmm.
see now, if she was scared of me and couldn't say that to me, if she was worried about what my reaction would be, now I have a woman in the world who's going to be in a relationship one day that is scared to communicate her needs. Whether that's in a relationship with a partner, with the relationship at work, with
Mm-hmm.
her friends. So I need you to know that you can express yourself and expect the other person on the other end, if they love you, as long as you're doing it with respect, because she don't talk crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because she don't see me talk crazy. And I express myself and my needs all the time. I've always modeled that for her. But it goes a step further when you have to make sure that there's a conversation that was had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy in that moment of like, yes, you got it. Because you told me I need something from you that I'm not getting. And so I'm not always just looking at that as mother and daughter. I'm looking at that as a person that's going to be a young woman in the
Mm-hmm.
world that knows now how to express herself. And then one more thing, I just said this recently. We went to a baby shower and I bought them these books because there are these books I swear by with parenting. And one
Mm.
of the most important things that I learned is in the book called Mindset. It's a great book, not even just for parenting, but it's just a great book.
Mindset. Okay.
Mindset. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And
Who's the
what
author? Sorry. Who's the author?
Carol Dweck, I believe.
Okay.
I'll get it for
Okay.
you though. I'll get it for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
But I learned when she was really young to not put pressure on her for anything. Good grades, being a good person, and it's in the smallest little language shifts. So instead of saying to her, I'm proud of you, which you would think is a great thing to say if someone comes home with straight A's, I'm so proud of you. It now puts a pressure on her. I need my mom to be proud of me. I got to keep getting A's. I have to keep getting goals in this soccer game. I have to keep
Mm-hmm.
getting the lead in the play. Um, to shift your language to, you worked so hard and look at your grades from your hard work. Are you proud of yourself? You should be. um, you were learning that script, you were working hard, and look what you did. So they have confidence in themselves, and it removes the I need to please my mom, but it's more like a I'm your cheerleader because you did well for yourself. So that's what
Wow. That child, not me being checked, okay, in this conversation. Because Lord knows. Woo, child. Baby, it's a couple of I didn't break the cycle moments for me.
all of us.
Because my mom was very um stern about, get good grades, and if you play sports, you better play it very, very good, because I'm the mom that's going to be in the bleachers, and get the ball, like mom is very, oh my god, if you don't get good grades, it's just like, well, why didn't you, what did you not do, what happened? So there was always a pressure
Yeah.
in my childhood to do the best and
Yeah.
be the best. And
Yeah.
then when I wasn't, I felt like shit. Like I felt like I was just such a not good person. But then
Right.
she would make decisions in her life.
Hmm.
And I would look at it like, now, wait a minute, sister. Now, mm, you making some bad decisions, and I'm thinking you should be protecting me on. So then there's a lot of animosity
Right.
towards my own mother. And
Right.
I did not realize how much I took into me being a mother,
Yes.
those traumas that
Yes.
I had. And I started doing the same thing with my son. Like,
Yep.
well, what happened? Why
Yep.
you got this? Why you got that? Da, da, da. And he told me after graduating high school, like, I felt like I'm letting everyone down. I feel
Yeah.
like there is so, if I could do it again, Nafeesha, which I can, but I blame myself so many. I get in these
Yeah.
depression modes where I'm blaming myself because I'm like, oh my God, I've raised him to be such a respectful and da 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 da. And I'm like, God, like you were you were accepted into this college. Like you could have did this and you could have did that. And he's like, Mom, but I'm not good at math. And I was never good at math. And all my friends were good at math. And I was like, but we had tutors, but we, and he's basically like, girl, I do not want to go back to school. Can you leave me the hell alone, please?
Right.
And I think it's me. It's me.
Right.
It's
Yep.
me.
It is.
It's not him. And I think
Hmm.
I pushed him
It is.
away a bit. And now he's 25. And now it's like, oh my God. And I keep saying, like, oh, you look like a little Rasta, a
Hmm.
little man that I don't know. Like I do not recognize that child. I know he's my child, but
Right.
it's like he did the complete opposite. He grew dreads. He yeah. People are
Yeah.
like, that's him. And I'm like, I think he just said to hell with everybody. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do me
Hmm.
and that's it. But you're giving me some gems that I wish I would have. Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
y'all.
you know what?
I'm sorry. She one of the best mothers in the world, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
The
Thank
gems that she is dropping, okay?
Thank
Yes.
you. You know,
Yes. Oh, that's
I love you
sweet.
too. Thank you.
Yes.
I always say, unless we make a conscious effort not to, we're going to mirror our parents. And not just, it's not enough to say, oh, I'll never do that. It has to be a conscious effort, because I really learned that in that moment. Like, I could not stand when my mother would get on the phone talking about something I did. Like, I thought we just talked about that. We just spent 2 hours talking about it, and you talking about it right in front of me and kind of looking at me like, girl, let me tell you what. But I did it. So it literally has to be a conscious effort, a work in progress. But when it comes to adulthood, I can say this as a child of someone who didn't always uh, do the things that would have been ideal, right?
Mhm.
um, as an adult coming to that parent,
Mhm.
this is where it's not too late. Everything you just said is music to an adult child's ears. I didn't
Mhm.
know. I I wish I knew what I know now. If I could go back, I would have done XYZ. That is the best thing that we can hear. The worst thing we can hear is, well, I tried my best and you're ungrateful. Well, you had this and you had that, and other children didn't have the psychogenesis, or, whatever the case may
Mhm.
be. If you really just are pure in your, you know what, you're right. That probably wasn't the
Mhm.
best way to handle that. But that was all I had at that time in my toolbox. And over time, I've gotten other things in my toolbox that unfortunately you couldn't benefit from at that time. But I'm here if you want. So there's another
That's
stage. It's just
true.
openness, atonement, forgiving yourself. Because a lot of
Mhm.
times, if we didn't forgive ourselves, then we're holding on to, I just want to be praised. I don't want to hear you say anything about me that's not, you were the best mother in the entire world and no one was better than
Mhm.
you. Because
Mhm.
then we kind of have to face within ourselves, I mess up. And we don't want to face that.
Mhm.
So we don't want to hear nobody say that to us, let alone the people that you broke your back for and worked all these hours for. And you don't want to hear that from them. You want to hear, thank you, I'm grateful. When realistically, sure, but the two things are both existent at the same time. I'm grateful, I'm also traumatized. I'm grateful, I'm also now having to learn proper ways to communicate in therapy because I didn't get them from you. Like, all of these things are existing at the same time. So we all got to heal together, child. We all got to heal together.
Oh, ooh, girl, you are so right. And I think it's hard. as
Mhm.
a mom to like face that truth. Because I know one day he told me, he was like, girl, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but he was like, your love is weird now.
Mm.
And girl, I was so hurt.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
was like, wait, what? My love is weird. And then you go into the speech about, I've done everything for you.
Yeah.
I've loved you. I've raised you as a single mother. And
Mhm.
and it was like that turned him off so much. Girl,
Yeah.
it's like his 25-year-old self said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm bye. I'm leaving. Bye. And I
Because we
was
go
like,
into protection mode. We
yeah.
go into self-preservation. So it's like, if you can't save me or love me or give me a safe space right now, then I got to
Mhm.
get away from you and find my own. And that happens. That
Mm,
happens. But I feel like when it comes to people you love unconditionally, there's always a space to bring it back and say, hey,
mm.
listen, what was weird before? What was weird
Right.
about it?
Okay. Okay. You're right.
What was the weirdness, and how do we, because maybe there was a misunderstanding.
You're
Let's
right.
figure out what's, because I don't want you to think I'm weird, but also I love you. I'm here. So
Mhm.
what's weird? Because my daughter is embarrassed about everything, stuff that I please, like, I would never be embarrassed by. She's embarrassed.
Right.
Oh my god, mom, you're embarrassing me. Oh my god, mom, let me tell you what dad did. I dropped her off at the Roxy in West Hollywood with her friends to
Mhm.
go see this singer,
Mhm.
and I dropped them off at the back of the line. It was a long, crazy line, because this is another teaching moment. If there's a general admission show and the
Mhm.
doors open at 7, you can't get there at 6:30. People, girl, people been lined up for hours. Like, y'all gonna be, you lucky y'all are tall. You're gonna be in the back.
Woo.
But that was a, and that was a moment where I could teach her. Say, hey, this is what you do. It's not, you can't go to the prom party where they're smoking and drinking and drugs. This is how you behave in an environment with that, because you're about to be in college. So you gotta, start now. But anyway, her father lives here in LA. And
Mhm.
so she tells me when I picked them up, oh my God, mom, it was so embarrassing. Dad just happened to be driving down Sunset, and he calls her pumpkin pie, pump for short. And I just hear pump, pumpkin pie. And dad just happened to be driving down Sunset as I'm in this line, waving frantically, hi, baby. And I was so embarrassed. I was looking around. So I was like,
Girl, I would have froze. Mhm.
see, I wouldn't have been embarrassed by that. I would have
Ooh,
been like, hey, dad,
really?
this is nothing to
Ooh,
me. So she was mortified.
girl. I'm with your daughter. Tell her I understand because I know me, girl. I would be like, oh my God, who is that crazy person?
I said, well, you lucky it wasn't me, because I would have parked, got out, hugged you, seen if y'all was hungry, went down the street, got you
Oh
some
my
food.
goodness.
I would have been
Hmm.
way more intense than that. So I
No, baby.
embarrass her all the time. And so sometimes, we have to
Mhm.
create this, okay, one more story. Alphonse, I'm gonna tell her about the family reunion. Okay, so one more story.
Mhm. Mhm.
The family reunion. I just had a family reunion.
Oh, I
We have
remember.
them on average, I don't know, like every 6 or 7 years. We don't do it every year.
Mhm.
And so my daughter is 17. She has a cousin that is 14, but she is 24. Okay, 34. She grown. So my daughter just got her license the week before. And so we had a full conversation about acceptable driving and what she's supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. All the rules were laid out. It's the
Mhm.
family reunion. It's the party part, like the house party, the food at my auntie house. It's that part.
Yes.
So there's libations flowing, it's party.
All the things.
Her and the little cousin come over talking about, can we take the car around the corner? And I said, whose car? And her little cousin is my cousin's granddaughter. So She's 14, but she's my first cousin's granddaughter.
I got you.
Baby's young. Okay,
I
back
got
to that. And so I said, if y'all don't go sit down somewhere,
you. Yeah.
that was my reaction. If y'all don't go sit down somewhere. Anyway, go back to my conversation. Next thing we know, I don't know, it's maybe 30 minutes later. Alphonse comes over. Where's Anaya? I said, I don't know. She around here somewhere, like it's family reunion. He said, I don't think she here. Like your cousin said she gone. I'm like, what you mean she gone? She gone. So we go out to the front of the house. Everybody's frantic. The kids done took the car. And so the little cousin, whose name she will remain nameless.
Nameless.
Her grandmother, my cousin, is like, don't kill her. Don't kill Anaya. It's my baby fault. Don't kill Anaya. It's peer pressure. It was my
Not
baby.
peer pressure.
And I'm like, that baby 14 years old. Anaya about to be 18, okay? She did what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
The kids done took the rent-a-car, okay? It's not even...
Not the rental, sweetie. Not the rental.
Around the streets of Palmdale. So it's a residential area. So everybody's trying to keep me calm, like they think I'm about to go off. So the kids finally come, and she comes up to me, and this is what my baby say. This is what my Sagittarius baby say. Oh, Mom, I thought you were just playing.
Oh, that's such a sad thing to say. Oh my God, yes.
You said go sit down somewhere. You always tell me you say go sit down somewhere when I'm sitting down.
Oh, she's good. She's good. And you know what? In a way, I would kind of laugh, I think. I couldn't even be mad at her.
I said to my cousin, because don't kill her. Don't kill her. So the other cousins are chasing the little 14-year-old down the street because she's not like my daughter. You know, my little cousin is like, y'all all need to stop talking to me. Like So they chasing her down the street. It's a whole nother situation happening with her. My daughter pulled the Sagittarius on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking at her. I said, baby, don't play with me. You knew I meant no. We just went over all the rules. Do not ever play with me. It's fine. You have your license. You had your moment. What is a family reunion without these kids is crazy story? Okay. So that's the one of 2023. That's these kids crazy story. Mm-hmm. Anaya and Anonymous went joyriding in the streets in a rental car.
Not Anaya and Anonymous, girl, please.
But don't play with me. This ain't gonna happen.
Don't play with me. You had your moment. You said you had your moment.
You know better.
She had her moment. Oh my God.
And she's like, okay. It's because, and we also have to, as parents, not be so authoritative, dictator. You stay in these lines of exactly what I told you to do. Give them grace.
You're right.
She's 17. Like, okay, she took okay. Now, should she have? No. Is it the end of the world? Also, no. This is Palmdale. This is a quiet, calm neighborhood. We the rowdiest things on this street right now. Everything else is quiet. It's okay. We also have to use our gauges.
Yeah, we have to use our gauges. And I agree with that. I also feel like sometimes we can build up our children to be such perfectionists or like hold them to whatever they say. Like my son, when he was Anaya's age, was like, oh, I'm going to be a virgin. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to have alcohol in my body because I hate my dad. And my dad does those things. And I'm never going to be like my dad. And I was like, oh, baby, that's awesome. Oh, my God. And then you tell people, well, my son is not going to drink alcohol. And he's not. Girl, he do all that shit now. Child, listen, he's out here smoking weed and doing all the things. So, like, baby, look, wake him up, make him up, and everything. And you be like, damn, nigga, did you?
Not wake him up, bake him up.
Did you eat? Like, did you eat? Did you have something to eat first? Like what?
Yeah.
Child, like now it's just everything is so different. And I
Yeah.
think as parents, we can really, whatever we weren't, we
Yeah.
kind of want our child to do
Yeah.
those things as well. We
Mhm.
want to see ourselves in our children.
Mhm.
And ooh, that's a mistake, child. Don't try to see yourself in your child. Don't do it.
I
Let
knew on my
them
due date
do
though. I knew when that doctor told me my due date, I said, "Oh, I'm having a Sag. I am a vessel. I am a vessel. This is a firecracker. Like
Yeah.
I am just here to guide her in whatever direction she gonna go. But there is
Mhm.
going to be no steering. I
Yeah.
am going to help you. Okay, that you're gonna make a left. Well, watch out for that. Like I can't tell you to make a right. I just have to try to help you in all of your lefts.
It's true because I'm a Scorpio Sag. I'm a cusp. And
Mm,
I gave my mom hell
hmm.
and she didn't know what it was just like, Lord, what?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
My daughter would have given my mother hell. Easily. My mother says all the time, she had the perfect mother. Like there's no way. Like that, none of that would fly with me. But I'm so grateful that she has it. My mother says it all the time. Like, and it's difficult. Like
Mhm.
I have to have conversations with myself all the time. When she was running for president, she's in a private school in LA, is predominantly white. Um,
Mhm.
and she's running for president. I had to make sure I'm not putting no pressure on her. I'm prepared for if she doesn't win and how to, but not, you better do it and you go be the first black president. I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's hard. You want to, when those cast lists come out, what role did you get? I want to hear, Into the Woods, she wanted the witch. Did she get the witch? Did she get the witch? But that's internal because if
Mhm.
she didn't, then I have to be, oh, okay, well, tell me about the baker's wife. What are some great things about that role? I have to
Mhm.
already prepare myself for how I'm going to handle
Mhm.
different types of conversations
And
that,
you
that
do
they,
that prior to her going to audition. I mean, is it a whole to do for you? Like, do you have to talk to yourself? Like, what do you do, Nafeesha? I know you have to. You probably be talking to yourself.
sometimes, sometimes she gives me the pleasure of having time to think about it. Other times, not so much. It is
Okay.
in the moment. What about this? You have to, you know what you want to say. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be realistic in your sit down somewhere. Because for me, my sit down somewhere is playful. It is. I say
It
it to her
is.
all the time. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere,
Yeah.
sometimes she make me want, no, you literally sit down and you sit
Mm-hmm.
in this house and you. But
Mm-hmm.
then I think about myself at 17. I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
nobody was telling me to sit down. Was I? No. But neither was she. And so instead of knowing,
Mm-hmm.
passing it, because we want them to be better than us, we put all this pressure on them to be
We
better and
do.
on ourselves for them to be better. Girl, she was born better than me. I don't even have to put no pressure on her for that. She's independent. She
I
is,
love.
I mean, I never have to worry about what this child is doing. She was getting, she had an appointment. I think she was getting her nails done and her phone was going off. And she said, Mom, can you check my text? So I picked up her little phone and said, I can't see. And she went, oh, the password is blah, 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 blah.
Oh, well, we love that, honey, because the children these days, honey, you can't even look at their phone. Like, oh, what you looking at?
I said, she trusts me because she know. But it was a process. So when she got her phone at 13, because I personally believe that that's the age you shouldn't do it no sooner. She had every child protection possible, like
Mhm.
everything. There is nothing you could do on this phone that we don't know about. And then we just slowly took it away. So when she turned 18, we took it all away. I mean, 17. When she turned 17, we're like, here,
Mhm.
You can have it, you know? And so because we gave it to her slowly, responsibly,
Mhm.
now she's like, "Oh, I don't care if you have my password because I know that you respect my privacy." I've never just gone through her phone ever.
Mm.
I'll ask her what's going on with such and such, and she tell me so much. I don't feel like I have to.
You don't feel like you even have to look through that phone, child.
This
I
person
know it.
said this, and then that person said that, and then this person said this, and I was thinking that, and then I looked up this, and oh, I want to show it to you, but I was cussing in it, so you can't see it. You're right. I don't. You're right.
Don't worry about it. I don't even want to see it either.
As
That's
progressive,
very true.
gentle parent as I am, you ain't finna be cussing in front of me. Um, but
But I like
I had
it
to let
though.
her slide at Renaissance. I had to let her slide.
You let her slide.
For
That's
Renaissance, I had to let her slide.
what
Cuff
she
It,
did.
Cuff It is her song.
Oh
We
yeah.
gonna
Okay.
fuck up the night. That baby
Oh.
wanted to fuck up the night, and so black lights, spaceships fly. She was unapologetic when she fucked up the night
Like
at
she
SoFi Stadium. That's
oh my God. Yeah, you had to let her,
I
you
had to
know.
let yeah.
Yeah, you had to give her that moment though.
But see, she discussed it with me, Mom. When Cuff It comes on,
See?
and I was like,
Yes. I like what you said though about building that trust, building so there is no fear. So there is a respect there. That is that's a key there.
mm-hmm.
That's a key, that's a gem. I love that. I do because I know we have been on here for 51 minutes and I apologize. I know I think I said 30 or something. We said
It's okay.
that's
It's
what happened
fine.
with yeah.
It's okay. I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm
Okay,
not.
cool.
I'm fine. I told I'm fine. So I was like, I'm fine. I feel like I already know KoGi.
Okay. Yeah,
I feel like
because
I'm just talking to my friend
exactly we
on
just chat
FaceTime late at
on
night. Boy, this
FaceTime.
shit is crazy. It got me fucked up. But I ain't gonna tell her. You know, because me and my friends be having them conversations like, girl, I be wanting to wring her neck.
Yes, yes, definitely. That be me
All of
late.
that is still there. It's just not there with her.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yeah, them late night conversations with friends be crazy, to be
And
honest.
I am so blessed. My best friend has been my best friend since I was 11 years old.
Oh, I love that.
And we have daughters the same age. She also has a son older and three children younger. But she, I'm so blessed in that regard. And then my other great friends, since I was one of them since I was 15, the other
Mhm.
one since I was 19. So like my teenage best friends are still in my life. And the
Oh.
the the joy in that, the benefit in that. And I was talking to my brother recently, another Sag in my life, and he has this very strict, rigid thing about friendship. And it's pretty common. I guess it's like, the no new friends and somebody stab you in your back, that's it. And I said, if if I felt that way about conflict and misunderstandings, I wouldn't have any of my friends right now.
Mm.
And he's like, well, I don't have friends right now, but that's good. Everybody lying. But what you have to know about people, all people in your life, is we're all dealing with our own stuff. We have our own 2 feet that we're standing on, our own problems, our own situations, and we're all learning and we're all growing. And depending on the offense,
Duh pit. Cause sis, I love what you were saying, but that was like thinking in my head, like, mm.
depending on the offense, um some things are sometimes just misunderstandings and people growing and learning and figuring it out. And for me, depending on the offense, because a few of them girls ain't around no more.
Mm.
If it's something that you can say, hey, I don't really like the way you were talking to me, I don't like the way you was moving like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When them men folk came around, you started acting a little,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of have to trust that your friends are going to be the kind of friends to be like, oh girl, was I? Ooh, I didn't even notice that. Thank you for pulling my coattail. Because we got to be each other's mirrors,
Yes.
depending on the offense.
Yes.
Because some of
Depending
them got
on
to go
girl, listen, Linda.
immediately. First offense. Some of them got to go, but not everybody got to go.
Not everybody gotta go. You right. You right. You right, girl. It's a hard thing to navigate. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try my best though. I try my best, but it's really hard. Sometimes I feel like
Well, if
you
you a
can.
Scorpio, that stinger becomes C. This
I
is my
said
stinger.
on the
This
girl.
is a
I said
stinger.
on the cusp. Nafeesha on the cusp. I'm both. Okay.
So the stinger and the fire.
You know what? Okay, you know what? Let's go back to this because I ain't got time for that, honey. Um, I do want to know, Miss Thing, about the child development. Like,
Um,
so did you go to school for child development and then you open up? I mean, 10 years to have a child daycare. Like, that's
mhm.
amazing. Like,
Yeah,
please tell me that. Tell me about that.
I went to school for multiple things. I changed my mind a lot. Um, but I think what I was thinking when I took a few courses in child development, because I didn't want to just be like, I'm good with babies. I
Mhm.
should have a daycare.
Right.
No, I had to take some courses on business and on accounting and in child development. And I was also pregnant. So I thought this is great. I can just watch my baby
Mm.
and that ended up not being the case. My daughter did not do well in my daycare. She had to be put out. Um, she because
What?
I had to put her out. She's an only child, so like, why are you holding her, changing her diaper? I don't like it. She. So the blessing is, my sister at the time worked at it's called Blue Skies for Children. Shout out to
Oh,
Blue Skies for Children in Oakland, California. Um, was like the pinnacle, the standard for child cares.
okay.
Like when you would take a course, they had like those double paned windows. Is that what they're called? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
mhm. And
Mm.
you could either watch your child at any time, or people in class could come and watch. Like, they were the standard. And so my sister worked there. And so that's where my daughter ended up going.
Oh.
But I loved it. I love children. I love babies. Not enough to keep having them, but watch other ones and give them back to their parents was everything. And then the blessing was that it also made really good money, because we were in California and things are expensive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Healthcare is
ma'am.
expensive. So I was able to really provide a great living for my daughter and myself,
Love that.
along with the help of her dad. But
Yeah.
I, it was great. The only reason I stopped is because I was thinking to myself, do I want to be doing this when I'm 50, 60? And the
Mm,
answer was no. So then I had to ask that question that everybody tells you to ask yourself: what do you love? And can you find a way to make a living from it? And
mhm.
so had to dig deep. And then that's when I went into my event planner bag. So I also did that. I want to say 5 years. How long did I do that? I was an event planner, producer, designer, wedding planner.
Oh, I know that's right, sis. You in the perfect state, perfect city.
Oh, it was
Okay.
great.
I live,
It
I listen, I lived in
was
California
great.
for them almost 3 years. I paid 13.26 in rent for a one bedroom. That same one bedroom is now 23.40.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was good.
So you in the perfect place, honey. The event coins, yes,
Hmm.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that was great. And then pandemic happened, and there were no events, and there was nothing going on. So the blessing in that was it pushed me into right on 59, because I have a successful husband, so I could take a little sabbatical.
She said, I have a successful husband. Chicken.
You
Okay.
know,
I know that's right, girl. You better pump that up.
I was
Okay.
able to take a little sabbatical. Like, well, what do I want to do now that it's time to think?
Sit
What do,
down.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
so, full circle back to right on 59th. I was like, I guess it's just time to do it. I can do it. Let me do it. And so I'm still doing it. I'm still in the process of starting it. Like I said, I still don't have
Right.
nothing on socials. Those photo shoot pictures aren't done.
Right.
I'm still getting my, but I took all the Shopify courses you could take, because I'm a big person on, just because you're good at something and just because like a skill is there, that doesn't mean the business sense is going to automatically come. You have to
I
learn.
agree.
You
Mm-hmm.
have to be a sponge. And so
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple friends and a cousin that does it. So I soaked up a bunch of stuff from them. Like I said, I took all the Shopify courses. I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to do my best to make sure
I
that this
love
is
that.
something to be proud of and something with longevity. And yeah, and that's another thing about community, is reaching out to the people that do it and not
Thank you.
feeling like, oh,
Thank
my thing is going to be mine. I don't have, no, hey,
you. Yes.
my cousin told me the most important question I asked him was, if you could go back and do one thing different, what would you not do?
Mm-hmm.
Not, all of the regular, where do you get your blanks and where do you source this? And he's like, nobody has ever asked me that. And I actually have a great answer for that. And I took his advice, and I'm not doing it. I have so many ideas that I think are amazing, and I just wanted to get everything out. And that was his advice. Start small, start with a few designs. Don't go crazy. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get behind in shipping. Your inventory is going to be off. Like, and then people are going to say, I placed this order, I didn't get it. And we living in a time where if somebody didn't get something, they're going to tell it. It's going to be on the social.
Mm-hmm.
Do it
Girl.
small and responsibly. So
That's true. That is true. And that is very, very smart because, honey, the way the ratings and reviews get put on social media and passed around, and you be like, God
and I
damn.
read them. I take heed. If I
Yeah.
see a whole bunch of bad reviews on something, like anytime we go anywhere new or try
Me
anything, I'm like, what the
too.
reviews say? What they say?
Me
Mm-mm.
too. I do. I can't
Go
even
on
lie.
Yelp. What they say on Yelp?
I
Mm-mm. Go on
can't even
Google review. What they say? What they say about
TripAdvisor.
the chicken?
TripAdvisor.
Mm-mm.
What they say about that hotel? Oh, God,
Mm-mm.
no. The bed
A
was that.
bed bug. Mm-mm. One bed bug is one too many. I don't care if they say it was just one.
Listen, I don't care. It's 200 a night in the bed. Oh no, I'm
Mm-mm.
good. I'm Gucci. That's all right. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are sure right about that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me ask you this. In closing, 5 years from now, 5 years, where do you see Mrs. Nafeesha Nicholson? What do you want for yourself 5 years from now?
I want to be peaceful. I don't want to be stressed out. I want my health intact. I want to be in better shape. I want to be consistent with that, because I'll be consistent for a couple weeks and then be like, that cold stone is calling me. So
Dang.
that nothing but cakes is calling me. That enchilada with that red sauce is calling me. That buffalo chicken is called. So I think I want more discipline and structure in regards to my health. Um, I want my children and husband to be healthy and happy. And I just want us to continue to think about what's important I feel like we're in a really good place with that. But sometimes with a lot of attention and money, fame, um, any of those things, because my daughter in her own right, um, my daughter's been on the stage since she was 5. Uh, that's how Alphonse and I met. They were in a show together.
That's
So
still crazy. That
yeah,
story is so crazy to me for till to this
yeah.
day.
So I'm hoping that she will be, as she steps into her own spotlight, that
Mhm.
that she's responsible with it, and that she is listens to her mama and stays off of Twitter and keeps her opinion to herself.
Mm. Stay off for Twitter, right? Okay.
Just stay off of Twitter. It'll
You
be
don't
the
you
simplest
don't
thing.
think she have a burner account?
Just stay off. Just be on TikTok, Instagram. When I got on Twitter in 2013, I think it was 2013. It was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had the funnest trending topics, like things you find in Dora's backpack and
Yeah.
Rick Ross's beard, and it was just fun. And it was a it was a space to create community while we're talking about that. It was so fun. And now it feels so combative. Um, I saw somebody say I saw somebody say that I talk too much on Twitter to people, and that like I'm like a
Really?
barrier for Alphonse's fans. Like you got to talk to me first before you can talk to him. And I was like, first of all, that's not true. I don't be in Alphonse's comments talking to people, and I talk to people that talk to me. I'm doing the same thing I've been doing since I got on Twitter. Why should I not do that because of what Alphonse does? Um, that doesn't have anything
Right.
to do with how I move, but it's critiqued in such an interesting way. Because of
Mm.
my proximity to someone with the spotlight. So
Right.
I can't imagine what that would mean for my daughter and her own spotlight.
You're right. You're very much right. You're right.
You can't just move the way you would as a
Mm.
regular civilian. There's this other set of rules for you. So I just hope that she, in 5 years, her star is going to be burning so bright. She's already working on some things that I can't wait to share and talk
Oh,
about. It's voiceover stuff, so it's not struck. But it's still just too soon to talk
oh,
about.
that's
But
amazing.
she just got her own light. And I hope in 5 years that she's a happy, beautiful young woman. She ain't gonna
Mhm.
help but to be beautiful, but I hope she's happy.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
for me, with Alphonse and I in 5 years as empty nesters, that us and Fancy
Okay.
are just so proud of ourselves
Yeah.
and where we are, no matter where we are or what we're doing,
Mhm.
that we're just proud. We were watching a video today of Usher, and they were asking him what's the secret to his success and longevity. And
Yeah.
he was saying that he's happy even in the stressful times, and that there's no destination, there's just the journey. That so that way he's always just at peace and happy and proud of what he's doing, because
Mhm.
there's no one goal. It's just I'm on the journey. And so I hope that we are just on the journey and just happy, because even if you live to be 100, it's such a short life.
Right. If you think about it, you're so right about that.
So just taking every day, and just even when it's hard, just thankful to be here, that it to have a hard day, and that you're hoping to be blessed with another day that's not as hard.
That is very, very true. Well, I can tell you this. I don't know who said whatever about you being the barrier to the whatever that makes no sense. But I will tell you this just from my heart, ma'am. Girl, I'm so silly. Anyway, um, but I will say to you that you and Alphonse are different people. Like, and I think for all of us, we love you individually. And I don't know what the motherfuckers are talking about over there, but we love you individually. And our conversations on there tend to have nothing to do with Alphonse.
Mm-mm.
So that's why I'm over here like, what, girl, what you talking about? Because half the time, child, we is talking about other stuff that is going on with Nafeesha. Okay, like,
Mm-hmm.
and if my thing is the only reason why you are burying to Alphonse is because you probably made that bury it yourself. So, I'm just saying, because if you support him, if you support him and if you are around and everything
Yeah.
else, he ain't gonna be like, man, what? No, he'll accept the love back. So that's what I'm saying. You just talking. You just talking. Those
Well,
people are,
it's a lot of that.
yeah, you're right.
It's a lot of just talking. But the
You
blessing for me is I don't let it affect me. Like, it's not gonna make me stop talking to people. Um, it's not gonna make me feel any kind of way. But I
mm-hmm.
know another it's kind of funny to me just because it's so opposite of the truth. But
Mm-hmm.
I also saw somebody say on there that I used to go on Clubhouse and argue with people about Alphonse. And I'm like,
Girl, you are lying.
I literally have never. But
Not Clubhouse, baby.
that's
Clubhouse was
arguing about Alphonse on Clubhouse. But I think that because I'm not arguing with nobody about Alphonse. Like, the thing with Twitter too is a conversation. I guess if you want it to look like an argument, it can. Um, but like I said, I come from a funner time on Twitter, and you could talk, and it was okay. And so I'm learning for myself just to keep my page peaceful and Discord free. Um, that I don't won't talk to certain people.
right.
Um, but I'm never gonna feel like I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm not gonna go into my Beyonce bag. But I see why she did. And so what I hope for my
Exactly.
daughter
Mm-hmm.
is, and even Alphonse, is that you never feel like you have to go into your Beyonce bag. I can't talk to anybody. That's
Right.
one of my favorite things about Alphonse is how personable he genuinely is.
Yeah.
It's not an act. He's not like, oh God, here comes so and so. Hi. No, he's so personable and friendly and open with people. So, because I think it would be difficult for me if he wasn't, because I'm like, okay, who do you think you are that you can't say hi back? Like, say hello. And I don't even have to do that. Like, he is take
Mm.
pictures with anybody, talk to anybody, thank everybody for the support.
Mhm.
So that's just who we are. I'm not gonna stop doing that, but I appreciate, as I always have, on Twitter, the community that you can find there of really dope people. Because here we are having this conversation on a Sunday night, um,
Right.
and I'm not nervous about it or feel like I don't,
Mm-hmm.
because I had no idea what you were about to ask. I didn't need to. I'm fine with this. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thank you. Actually, thank you for
Welcome.
having me and having
Yeah.
me speak on parenting. It's one of the things I'm most passionate about. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I appreciate this space. I never would have created it for myself. So
Oh, yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, for me, that those are things that I'm passionate about. LGBTQ, parenthood, oh God, just women's rights,
All of
community,
that.
all the things. And I was like, okay, I need to do something because my brain is going to explode if I don't talk about these other things. So, um, yeah, I'll definitely probably talk about LGBTQ with somebody else pretty soon.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that to see who I'm like, ooh, who got, I'm one of them people make connections with people love on people, they will love on you.
Yep.
And I think people kind of really don't understand that. Like, if you're genuine in your love with people, people will recognize that genuineness and they will pour into you. You pour into people, they will pour into you. They will give you the love back. Like, if people would take that with them and understand that, yeah, they'll be pretty good. So,
Agree.
okay. You agree? Okay, then. We both agree with each other. Thank you so much, girl. I know it's been what, 1 hour 15 minutes, but thank you so much for sharing your time. Before you go, tell the people where they can find you. I need to know if that shirt is gonna be on the site soon.
It
But
will. It will next
okay,
week.
good. Next week. Okay, so tell us where they can find you and give us your information.
Righton59.com. Just go straight to the site. We have the socials at Right on 59.
Okay.
Working on those though, but you
Mm.
can go straight to the site, righton59.com. Thank you so much for the support, for everyone who's already purchased something. Like, I'm so grateful every single time I get the Shopify ding. I'm like, every time. It never gets old. Thank you guys so much, and thank you, and congratulations on Conversations with KoGi. This is so cute.
Oh, thank you.
This is
Thank you. I appreciate
cute.
it. I appreciate it. You know,
Yeah.
you can come back anytime. Just let me know, and girl, just hop on. Okay.
Okay.
Hop
Okay.
on. Just hop
Okay.
on.
Don't
And
threaten me with a good
you
time.
listen. Next time we can talk about friendships next time. We can just talk about anything.
Okay. I'm down.